El Greco and the Siamese Show here on The Art of Lush. And you're with me, Lavinia, as well as Chui Foong from Jewels. She is the Artisan Chocolatier. Quite a title that I wish I could have for myself, because I do love chocolate, you know, especially dark chocolate. That is my favorite. What she has done today, I have to invite more guests like that. She has actually brought with her beautiful creations of all that you can enjoy down at Jewels here at Orchard Central. Cakes, chocolates, truffles, macaroons, mousse as well. And I think the list actually still goes on. We haven't, this is not the full menu, right?
No.
Yeah, Lush is, the studio's not that big, so. Okay, first up, what is the first one that I can try over here?
Okay, you can try the Nama Choco. Nama is actually a Japan term as a fresh or raw. And so it's a 70% cocoa content and it's very soft and smooth.
Yes, it is very smooth indeed. There's a lot of simplicity in this one, but yet, you know, a richness to it. Beautiful. So the aim of this particular chocolate is to keep everything in its raw essence,
Raw
you know, the
and
naturalness
fresh,
of it.
and use the freshness product, and we use very premium chocolate. So when everything is being put together and then we make it fresh, so when you enjoy chocolate very, very fresh, you get the best fragrance.
And I have to say, it's very smooth even going down my throat. You know,
Yes.
sometimes you take some chocolate and it feels very, very
Waxy.
harsh. Yeah, waxy.
Yeah,
And you're like,
waxy.
you know, you just want to cough. And,
Yes.
but this went down very smooth.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's
When you're
great.
trying chocolate, be aware that when you have to really chew a lot and it's very sweet, it's because that the sweetness is from the sugar, whereby they have to prolong the shelf life to leave it in the shelf longer. And
Sure.
also the waxiness is from the vegetable fat that keep it heat resistant.
Which is like for our climate kind of
Yes,
thing. I
yes.
see.
And so actually good chocolates melt very easily and
Yes,
doesn't give
it
you the
did.
waxy texture.
It
And
did.
so this is something that you can watch out for when you're tasting chocolate.
I see. So just be aware of that kind of waxy, very sugary texture.
Yes.
That points out to high sugar, high fat, animal
high
fat,
vegetable
fat. Sorry,
Yes.
vegetable fat content,
Yeah.
which affects you, right? Deteriorates the quality of the
Yes,
overall chocolate.
Exactly.
Right. So over here, I learned this yesterday that, you know, the open kitchen, if you come down to Jewels and you take a look at them actually making the chocolate, it is a very strictly controlled environment. The
Yes.
temperature is constantly maintained. The humidity is constantly maintained within that open kitchen. And they're very strict about it. I was not allowed to enter because they have to maintain a certain level of quality control
Yes.
in the environment itself. So that's the kind of strictness that they infuse into creating all their chocolate, so you know you're getting really the top end quality of it. And I presume that because all the ingredients are very, very fresh, the shelf life of your chocolates is not very long because you actually have to make them fresh every day, right?
We always advise the chocolate, if you buy it fresh, to enjoy it within 7 days. Yes. It doesn't mean that after 7 days it will get spoiled, but the fragrance and texture
best.
will be different.
Right.
Yes.
No, I think a chocolate with me doesn't last beyond 1 day, actually.
It doesn't end up in the fridge.
Yeah. We have a story about that in just a while. The next one we have here, this is interesting. I thought this was actually kind of like, what do you call that, Rice Krispies or something, or like almonds, but no, this is actually
Winter melon seed.
winter melon. Very Chinese New Year, very Lunar New Year kind of feel to it. And
Yeah.
this is one of the special creations you've made for
Yeah.
Chinese New Year.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about this one.
Okay, from young I always observed that people would like to enjoy a winter melon seed during New Year's, you know, watching TV and actually eating their winter melon seed individually.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit of time
Yeah,
actually.
you gotta like bite it.
Yes.
I gave up. The
Yes.
first time I did it, I said, no, this is not gonna work. for me."
Exactly. So what I'm doing is that I have the winter melon seed and I roast it with the pure maple syrup with a very, very low heat to get it really crunchy.
Yes.
And then I roll it over the 40% of milk chocolate, just lightly coated. And so both flavor will not fight. You will
Yeah, it won't be too
enjoy.
overwhelmed.
Yes, you
Yeah.
will enjoy the milk chocolate and at the same time the fragrance from the winter melon seed.
I do get the fragrance, and even in the taste,
Yes.
it's like as if, you know, I have a nose inside my mouth
Wow.
that can kind of pick up that sweetness of it. And you're right, it's a very nice crunch to it as well. Not too, you don't feel like it's overpowering in
Yes.
terms of the texture of it. That is beautiful. And this, as part of some of the exclusive creations you've made for Chinese New Year, so probably only available this month,
Yes,
right? Only in
during
the
the
month
Chinese
of
New
February.
Year. Yeah.
You've got quite a few. We'll learn a little bit more about the others,
Yes.
inspired very much by Chinese New Year. Very cool creations. Now, the one next to it,
Haha.
it is smiling at me. This is a beautiful chocolate. What is this? A chocolate
Okay,
cake?
this is our 85% chocolate gâteau. The meaning of
Ooh.
gâteau is actually cake.
Okay.
Gâteau is a French term, and
I
a
see.
cake. Yes.
Okay.
So it's English. So, you look at the texture. To achieve a soft and moist texture like that,
Yes.
we have to make use of the traditional method whereby we separate the egg yolk and egg white
Mm-hmm.
to process it into this cake.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
it's actually a lot of work.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's
Um,
probably getting the right kind of textures
Yes,
involved.
yes.
in
You
the
will
whole
get the
thing, right?
cake lighter and softer and moister.
So
yes.
if you don't mind, I'm going to indulge in a piece.
Why not?
And it's 85%. So is it bitter?
No, people have the misconception about high cocoa content being very bitter. But actually, high cocoa content does mean low sugar. And if we are using very premium chocolate, and it have its own uniqueness and the fragrance from the cocoa itself, single
Yes.
origin.
Sure, sure.
Yep. And so, a lot of people thought that high cocoa content means bitter is because that maybe if when during the manufacturing, if they are not using a very good bean, maybe
Sure.
they will have to roast it nearly burnt to give the type of bitterness.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it ends up that people have the type of feeling that high cocoa is always bitter.
Sure, sure.
Yes.
Of course, of course. That's interesting because I think, embarrassingly enough, I fell into
No.
that same camp of people who thought that, the higher the cocoa percentage, the more bitter it
Bitter,
is,
yeah.
and that's how you distinguish the
Yes.
differences. I
Proof.
have learned something new today. Cool. And that's actually beautiful. 85%, but like you pointed out, it's more the texture, more the smoothness of it.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say that it's bitter at all.
No,
Actually, it's very
because
enjoyable.
what we're trying to do is high cocoa content with very low sugar actually is healthier. Yeah,
Oh,
you can
yes.
enjoy chocolate in a healthier way and make yourself feel really good.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I can have chocolate every day. Even.
Yes.
And lastly, we have here beautiful chocolate mousse.
Yes,
with
chocolate
all
mousse in
these-
verine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Tell me more about this one.
Okay, the meaning of verine is actually glass. So you have a see-through glass, all the mousses in the glass.
Yep.
And we have the different cocoa content of chocolate mousses inside. So with all the composition, we also added in a lot of element
Yes.
that to go with it.
Yes.
So for the chocolate mousse, we have the white chocolate yogurt mousse
Okay.
and a
I
40%
see
milk
it.
chocolate mousse inside, and also with a 66% alpaca dark chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah, so with all this composition, a lot of people will feel that chocolate mousse is always very fattening. But I can also tell people that chocolate mousse can be very something really light to enjoy and not
Sure.
too sweet. And with some other also things like praline feuilletine.
Yep.
Praline is a type of ingredient that we use in our chocolate. That almonds is being roasted with sugar
Sure,
to
to
caramelize,
caramelize it, right.
and it make it to a very smooth paste, and added with a very thin kind of biscuit
Okay.
to achieve it.
Oh, I
So,
see. I see.
yes,
It's
and
done
you can
here as
see
well,
some
yeah.
you can see some almond crumble beside also.
Yes.
And also the sesame too. Yeah, and little macarons to decorate it
I
also.
know, I saw the macarons.
Yes.
I love macarons. And we are
Oh.
actually going to tell everyone about this very special, very interesting story, right? About Singaporeans and macaroons.
Yes.
In just a while. But first up, I have to say that these are beautiful creations. Feast for the eyes as well for the soul and, of
Yes.
course, my palate. La. So in just a while, we are going to talk a little bit more about a very interesting topic, misconceptions that people have about the origins of food. And, of course, here it's all to do with chocolate. So, Chui Foong, we're going to need you to lead us through that. So
Sure.
keep it right here on The Art of Lush.
Lush Love.